All right. Welcome,
Back
every
in the back in the building.
new year, new us. Not really. Same us. New year. We
Or
back. We are back in the building.
January 11th.
Yeah.
Happy New Year and all that good stuff.
New
Well,
year.
this happy crossover. You
Well, I mean,
know,
it's New Year's January. Happy January. It's
see,
good.
I ain't even gonna start this morning.
Yo, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. Um, yeah. So what's going on here? This has the wrong. I'm talking in the wrong mic. Mic. Hey, this is what's going on. So, well, we're back.
There you go.
This is back. Heyward CPA podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it. It's back in effect. People know that. People know everybody. Everything is a podcast now. So I guess it's a podcast. I suppose. So what's good with you?
I'm good. How you doing there, sir? So it is a snowy Saturday here in North Carolina, where we accumulated just over 4 inches of snow.
Oh, did you? Up there? You did? No, I'm saying we ain't really get. I got sprinkles.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. No, I only got like it was like nothing. Like for real. It's like a quarter inch. But I mean that's how the storm is north and south. So yeah. Oh, I ain't do 4 inches. I'd be chilling. Oh yeah, the blur is taking it, but I see. Yeah, you got some.
We got 4. It was snowing all night, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it rained and it snowed. I'm talking about chunks.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rain, it just we didn't get no accumulation here, but we we some miles apart, so it makes sense. But still, I was like,
I'm close to the border.
Yeah, well, so that's why. But I mean, I'm not tripping. It's like, yo, son. It wasn't like I was going anywhere anyway. So
yeah, no doubt. I just gotta go out there and hit it with some salt.
Yeah.
Maybe pull out the shovel. I don't even. Whatever.
Yeah. So good. Well, that's the recap here. So we didn't formally pick a book for the week because we just didn't get around to it.
No, we did. However,
but I'm saying I'm hold off on that. Okay. I just thought about it. I ain't even want to go there because I got books. The same one thing, I got these series of books that I plan on reading, but we got to talk about the 9th.
Let's talk about it. What you want to talk about?
You did all the talking then. Now you don't want to talk.
No, I mean, what you want. You know what you want to ask me. What you want to talk about.
I will lead in with the January 9th, 2025 was the initial cohort session of Biz Therapy. You've heard us talk about Biz Therapy. You'll hold us pontificate about Biz Therapy. And Biz Therapy actually happened. Session 1. It is now currently is a 6-week cohort. For those that I'll simplify it. It's for those that are trying to grow. You're trying to grow your business, whether it's no revenue to some revenue to survival revenue, survival to thriving, surviving to arrive, and arrive to thriving. Whatever level you're trying to work on. The program is designed because many entrepreneurs don't have an outlet for their business creativity, nor do they have time to discuss issues. It's hard to have peers, especially if you're a sole owner of something. It's very difficult for you to have peers to discuss things with. Mm-hmm. So the Biz Therapy program, along with the technical aspects of the program, present an opportunity to think business at 1 hour out the day, 1 day a week. Now you got homework, so you got to do more stuff out there, but it gives you a chance to think about your business, and it's heavily influenced by the the E-Myth thesis of working on your business and not in your business. So that's my 30-second pitch. It's pretty good too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut that out and just play that. I'm gonna put that in a clip. I'm gonna make that a
Yeah,
clip
there you go. There you
on
go.
social media. So yeah. So how was it?
I mean, it was great, right?
Oh, all right.
You know, the we've been doing biz therapy workshops, one-on-one sessions, for last couple of years. Still fairly new in terms of, you know, the platform, but it's been in existence for a while. So now we just really ramped it up and worked on it. Remember, we've always talked about, you know, your fourth quarter recap and what you're going to be doing for the new year. So it's all the same as the same. I'll give it to you from the inside and then show you how it works on the outside. So internally, you know, there are goals biz therapy is trying to achieve with assisting business owners as described by my partner here.
The,
Um,
the work guy,
right. Right. So
IT.
we put together a strategy, a plan. We rolled in some new components. We had some other components. We had some tools, we should say, or I should say, that were sitting on the shelf that we already had on the shelf, and we're utilizing those tools to make the program even more robust and not just talking at small business owners. It's communicating with, it's collaborating with, it's partnering with. This is not a place where this is not transactional in sense of, you know, buying bread off of a shelf and you go do what you do with the bread, right? This
True.
is the mix. This is where relationships blossom. This is where, you know, we may know where we plant the seeds. We're not always going to know where the weeds are going to come from.
That
So
is
we
true.
need to maintain the soil and take out the weeds, because the weed, you know, and you know what's really crazy about this too, is, and this is why it makes, you know, the ninth, you know, not just the ninth, but the whole biz therapy that we deal with our clients, current clients, past clients that have graduated. So this is a graduation, gives you something to make you hold on to. But the thing about this is it allows, what I'm trying to touch on something really important here, right? You know, when we think about business success, we're thinking about making money, we're thinking about satisfying clients, we're thinking about having good staff, we're thinking about having a great brand that's recognizable and people believe in it and want to be a part of that brand. Those are all of the positives, right? Let's look at the other side, and I'm not going to necessarily classify it as negative. It could be negative, but let's look at the other side. The other side are the challenges. It's the risk. Remember, I just said weeds, right? It's where there's seeds, there's weeds. It's par for the course. You're never gonna plant a seed and not get weeds,
Mm-hmm.
right?
You're
You'll
right.
get weeds even without planting a seed.
Yeah.
Right? But there has to be seeds present in the area to get weeds.
Mm.
Deserts don't really get weeds unless there's a plant or seed or something that's been in that vicinity, right? So what biz therapy lends itself to is, you know, the opportunity for you to have a peer-based um, room, a peer-based situation, a peer-based relationship, a peer-based opportunity to address those concerns, those frustrations, those things we live with daily when we get up every day. Because most business owners wake up usually rejuvenated, very much lethargic, and a lot of times like, well, okay, well, why me? Why today? Until we get our wheels rolling, and then we motivated, right?
Yeah.
And then we have those highs and lows. So biz therapy, we had a group of people on. Um, more to come as well. We have a 6-week program. The first it's always a hit anyway. And when I say hit, not necessarily fireworks. We're just talking about sparking something within the business owners to help them get unstuck, as well as for myself, as well as for James, because it's motivating for us to be able to have people in the room that we're able to coach and guide and communicate and share stories with and be interactive. And so
Absolutely.
that's really, really, what biz therapy lends itself to be.
Mm, dang. Amen. so so I mean it's great. I have nothing more really to add, but it's great because um we did it. And that's so a lot of it is we actually implemented it that day, and we'll continue to implement and get better. Um I think one thing to achieve some of the things that you were discussing is about consistency, implementation, and consistency. And that's one thing that the cohort can start to establish by, okay, I know every Thursday at 1 o'clock, I'm here. I can shut my brain off. I'm around business talk. You know what I'm saying? Not my problems. Business talk. So that's the thing that you can do. Why we have this group training situation. One-on-one is effective, but if you're a small business owner, you're usually one on nothing, so you don't get to share information with some of business per se. If we use big business, is they interact with people. You know what I'm saying? These folks, they you dealing with millions. You sitting there, you talking to somebody, like that. When you're smaller, well, in their case, it's billions. But when you're smaller, you don't have, majority of small business owners don't have a business owner network, and they don't have a resource to reach out to or be a part of their operation. I see it a lot as an accountant because we're the most accessible advisors, you know, which is a whole nother conversation and a whole nother podcast, but we are accessible. So they at least talk, they know they're gonna talk to us at least once a year to do their taxes. So anything related to the business, they'll call and be like, I'm doing so and so. What should I do? How and as an accountant, you sitting there like, well, there's nothing, I don't know. But we always answer the question anyway because we know so much about business, because we see the inside of so many businesses. So what biz therapy is doing is saying, look, that doesn't preclude it from calling an accountant something, but there's another level, there's another things that happen that aren't just tied to the finances, that there is not a resource for smaller concerns. And that's what it comes down to. So the coaching, what we're working on right now is the coaching is kind of like the real therapy, is the psychosocial aspect of it. Like, how do you get consistent? How do you get organized? How do you go from doing everything? And most of all, I would say, let me take that back. What I'll say is that I think what going through the program does teaches you to how to look at what you're doing as a business, not just as something you're doing. So the way everything's set up with his beautiful curriculum and stuff, it's a higher level, so it's for you to think bigger. So I would highly, I mean, you know, obviously I'm endorsing it, but what I'm saying is I would just say to anybody, people need help. Don't be afraid to get it and don't be afraid to pay for it, because those investments, and I do it. I mean, so and so I do it for stuff that I know, but I just don't have the aptitude on a high level. So somebody does, and I really want to get something done, I'll pay the money. If I can't pay the money, then I can't afford it. So I have to wait until I can afford it.
Well, it's one of the things is that we definitely lean on in the program is continuous improvement. So
Absolutely.
there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you got to just push yourself, right? Other times, even if you push yourself, you'll find that may not be the right time, but at least you were able to push yourself and get past the overthinking, because we'll overthink very, very, very quickly, right? Um, we'll overthink, and that could create what we call negativity bias,
Mhm.
where you're measuring positive thoughts and outcomes against the negative experiences, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things that us as human beings go through and business owners go through is we focus on the experiences that we have. And so again, biz therapy lends itself. So think of an internal team, an advisory team, a board member team, a peer group, right? Where you can hear stories and experiences, challenges from other business owners, whether in your industry or not, right? Also, you can collaborate with these folks, and maybe there's an opportunity to do business there, or they could be a referral source, because this is not just helping you get to the next level. This is about creating an ecosystem of relationships. Because all we have, when you remove the veil of everything, all we ever have is people. It's people
Yep.
that get things done, right? So let's try to, in regards to what James is saying, reach out and seek some assistance. Listen, I'll say it to you in this manner: create the experiences that you want to focus on, so you can focus on them. Biz therapy is an experience. So put that experience in your life and focus on the fruits that could come from the labor that you'll put in to better yourself and to, just move the needle. It's not heavy lifting, right? There's no need to go overboard with excessive thought. It's, again, something else, a key point James mentioned. We came up with an idea on how we want to move biz therapy forward this year, and we could have just paused a little bit more and kept the same old that we've been doing. But we like, no, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna execute. And that's
Mhm.
what it boils down is to execute in action, right? So
Absolutely.
um, journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So one step at a time, people. We're definitely here. Reach out to us, biztherapycoaching.com. Go to the website, peruse around, kick the tires, schedule a free consultation. Take a look at some of our course options there. We have another group course coming up here soon. So we look forward to anyone that wants to really leave it all on the table. Are you really working to leave it all on the table? Right? Legacy, exit plan, succession plan, right? Those, let's go. Let's go. Let's do what we have to do. But identify why you're in business too, right? Identify, that's important, right? Are you in business to just, no one's just in business just to make money. There's a reason behind that, right? Whether it's for legacy, whether it's to if you saw a need and you just opportunity present itself, or you just have a hobby turned into a business, right? Um, or you went to you're a professional, you went to school for something and you wanted to just say, okay, I had enough of being under or making someone else rich. Let me go ahead and work on my own, right? So what is your intent? So understand your intent and dive into that. So I'll leave you with that.
I yield. All right. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, nah, that's beautiful. But I just wanted to get that out first because that's the thing. And then I just, I took a note to write something down regarding biz therapy for future shows. But we're not gonna have that production meeting on here today. But I just had a wonderful idea.
See that well that's what it does. It gives great ideas. So now it's a matter of going through the process of making sure that idea turns into something, right? And
Yeah.
so this is a fine example of, again, having somebody to talk to.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Man,
all
how the
good.
clock is off. What's up with that? But yeah, so now the book. Yeah. so so you were about to reach for a book.
Oh
Was-
yeah, I
was-
was. So this I just started this book. Look at that. I said I just started this book.
oh, starting. Well, there it is. What's the full book title? It's called Starting?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, that's I mean, okay.
I've had it for a bit, right? Actually, I had a client send it to me.
You never started. Damn.
And I started it.
Oh,
I did start it. So, again, my theory on books, right? Like, I love to read some books, but I have a process that I go through. I go through my headway. Then, if it's that, then I go to my Audible. Then I go to my Kindle, or I just go grab the hard book, right? So it's a process.
yeah.
But I tell you this much: I've skated through this book. What is this book about? This book is about entrepreneurship, business management, and leadership. But the most important piece, I mean, I just love these two words anyway: business development.
Mm.
There's a lot to unpack in them two words.
So start is about starting something.
So it's how to think like an investor, stress test your assumptions. You assume that your target market is going to purchase this product and service, and you could be right, but why would they? How would they? Okay, let me not go in.
No.
Stress test the assumptions in your business case and build a successful business that you truly love. Now, don't get demystified by that. That's just branding and marketing and advertising, right? But the elements in this book is serious. I'm going to really dive into this book in the next couple of weeks. There'll be some things I'm going to be adding to the program, slight little tweaks. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you this much. If you really want to dig into your business plan and understand your business plan and understand who you are as a business owner, that's key. Who are you as a business owner? Because your business is only indicative of who you are, every individual. Hence why there's multiple businesses within an industry, right? This is really a good book. We stand by E-Myth. We stand by Profit First. A couple other books, Good to Great.
Also, this
Um,
one
you know,
is
but
moving up the list.
this one right here, I've like I said, I perused it, and it gives you actionable steps. Like it wants you to. It's not just a reader. This thing says, okay, read up to here. Okay, now stop and go and do this before you
Do it.
come back to this book.
That's pretty smooth. So yeah, because the premise is to start. I mean, I think
Correct. And one
this.
of the key points that I hung out on here, which we always ask any business owner that we run across, right? And whichever part of the business with dealing with people in business, right? Do they have a business plan? Fit his statistics are, and he has the backup to show it. Just I mean, it's really weird backup, but it makes sense. 54% of business owners don't have a business plan, and 96% of business owners that have a plan don't even know what the plan is.
Wait, you said, wait, hold up. What was that number? You said it was 96.
54% of business owners don't have a business plan.
Okay.
Like they may have written down an idea. They may have put something together, may have threw something together, but it's not a plan, right? 96% don't even know what the plan is that they wrote down.
So 96% of the 50%.
54%
of the 54%. Yeah. So they have no clue what because they wrote it, the idea down and
the idea ain't the plan. So you might have so then he goes into saying, he asks you this question. He goes, okay, all right. He's like, I'm gonna show you why this makes sense. He said, okay, does your business plan fit your idea? Can you execute your business plan against your idea? Game changer.
I'm saying so. Okay,
so
that's a good book. That might have to go into the library.
For sure.
Library. It might get voted in. Yeah, because like you said, we got E-Myth, we got Profit First. We well, I gotta read it. Well, that's number one. But what's the name? Is
Starting by Andrew Priestley.
All right.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Bill. Bill sent me this book. Bill sent me. Yes, sir. West Coast Bill. Bill sent me this book in the mail, in the snail mail.
Oh yeah, that's official. I just already started.
No, I had it. I've had it for a little bit. I mean, I already started playing around. I've been playing. I'm telling you, I've been playing around with this book.
No, but
you can't really see it, but I got my highlights, my written, my sticky pads in here. This book is
it's pretty heavy.
This thing is hot. This book is hot, man.
Well, yeah. I'm saying the thing is, I have yeah. I mean that's good. I'm just putting it to my list of this long list of books I have to read. It's ridiculous.
Now roll that up to the top, bro.
Well, I made a stroke on a couple of like that. There's some bangers that I'm reading right now. It'll fall in line. I got some as I ain't talking about this. I got some, and plus mine is all over the place. There's all types of stuff going on.
I mean, he going to like, let's just hang out here for a minute. He got things like leaping.
Yeah.
Right. He got things like, I ain't gonna go through all of it, but he got a bunch. 80 days down to 90 minutes. That's talking about the success roadmap within 80 days.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go over here. What is the route to your target market? 3 success factors, 2 key drivers. 4 places where all your business problems live.
I know where some of them.
Is it working, and how do you know? This is what I'm saying. Like this book right here, you get through this book and you follow it, man. I'm telling you, I think.
Well, that's the catch.
And then see, here's the other piece: being a part of a coaching program. Bang bang bang. Is going to help you to execute on these things, right? So,
yeah, I mean that's it's not obvious. Let me tell you.
No, because we're not going to say obvious because
it's not obvious. It's not obvious at all. So, but I think that's a good way for us to go on topic for today's topic. I mean, it's the start of the year. It's everybody's resolutions have been broken by now. So It's the 10th. It's the 10th, the 11th. Everybody, most people, the resolutions are out the door already. The empty resolutions, and I think it would be good for us to discuss how do you start the year and what does that mean. We all know from our side, it's tax time, people. Whatever. Tax time, tax time, tax time. But if you've been on our or followed our show, you know that tax time never ends. This is just reporting time in the tax calendar. It's not tax time. Tax time is all the time if you're making money. It's number one. So that's just first and foremost. So this is tax reporting season. It's not tax time because tax time needs to occur throughout the year. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about following, the title of this book. How should you start your year? What should you be doing? Because it's psychological. I think what happens in New Year's, psychologically, people feel like it's a new year. You know what I'm saying? Time is a construct. It's all a construct. Dates are constructs. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But how should we start our year? What are we doing? And I think that's an example of what I'm saying. We started the year, but we started the year in December. Like, yo, we got to start doing this biz therapy thing. We didn't wake up January 1st and said, hey, want to do biz therapy next week? Like that. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, so now, if you're in business or even your personal finance, how are you starting? What are you thinking about? Like, what are you doing? I'll go first. Why not? So, I mean, for me, in firm management and other businesses, it is like a reset. But as I said, I start on the new year sometime in November. So I kind of start thinking about, okay, what needs to happen next year? More so, what do we need to implement? And then hopefully it doesn't always work. In January, I start implementing things I've been thinking about or working on. But this is a good time to really assess, especially from a profit standpoint. Like, am I paying for stuff that I don't use or don't need? So, like, at the end of the year, it's a concept of from on taxes, people try to spend money at the end of the year to lower their taxes. But I like to look and say, well, am I overspending on something? What can I do to reduce costs? That's one way. Another thing could be training yourself and people. Look, this year, hey, we're going to do that. We're going to train ourselves. We're going to learn. I'm going to tell you something. Good example. We have software that's a good 3 years we're going to have. And in the last 2 days, we used it more than the entire 3 years we had it. More
Some
skills.
of them. We got other ones that we've been using. So let's put that underline there. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, but to make the point is that you sometimes you I'm looking at the overall point where it's like take an assessment. This is working on your business. Like actively just look at and say, yo, it's January. I mean, for me, it's software. I buy all this software and I've been paying for it. And I had in my mind what we were going to use it for. We never got around to it. And then often we've changed the process. So the original thought I had, you don't need the software no more. So, but if it's a subscription, you're still paying for it like that. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how to call the bonehead thing I did with Ignition that I found out last night. So paying extra for no reason, but it's a process thing. All right. So, but in your comments today, if you run in an operation, this is a good time to start. Yeah, I'm going to take it back to the book. It's a great time to start. the marketplace is refreshed in a way. That's what it is. Because all this stuff, when you say going back to people, it's all about people and how they feel. If you're selling something, a good or a service, the way in America is the way people spend money with emotions. That's what they do. Is very emotionally connected. So, but this is a time to really look at what's going on. We've seen there's a regime change coming. How do people gonna feel about it? People gonna start opening businesses. People gonna do whatever. So whatever business you in, you gotta look. In restaurants, holiday shopping is over. People might be, I ain't going out as much right now, because December is hard. Like November, December is hard because you got Thanksgiving. You usually have some type of holiday party if you work. Then you got Christmas. Then you got New Year's. So you talking about people are just shelling out. So January might be a recoup. Like, yeah, I ain't really doing much right now. Now, if you're in business, you gotta change that a little bit. But I'd like that starting thing. I might move it. I'll move it to number 2 because this is a book I'm halfway in. I gotta finish that. And that's the other thing. I'm trying to finish this year. I'm trying not to start stuff, kind of do it, sort of do it, and then don't finish it. I am committed to implementation and finishing right now. I'm committed to it.
You just said a mouthful there, my brother. Because I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm finished. You see, you appear to have another book. Yes.
Yeah, man. This, so planning, good. Writing stuff down, great. Managing your calendar, great. One of the things so you mentioned finishing, implementing, knowing what you have. I know what I would like to achieve, for this year. Mm-hmm. And, so short term, long term, I know what I like to achieve. But I'm working more on creating some systems and processes for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you can write a goal down and sit it on the counter, sit it on your bookshelf, sit it in your computer, sit it somewhere and you don't even know where it is. Or maybe you do know where it is and it's not live. It's not a real thing. It's not a daily thing, right? They say write down your goals and look at it every day. So I'm going to maybe alter that a little bit. So I have created me a 2025 playbook.
The head coach at the playbook.
So I won't share too many of my notes here, but my playbook, when I get to the end of 2025, I'm talking about this is daily playbook. It has some elements in there that is very important to making sure that I'm hyper focused, hyper vigilant in the moments of the day. I can't go to the past, and I ain't in the future yet.
Yeah, that's big.
And as much as I may look in the rear view mirror to make sure whatever's past me is past me, or I look in my windshield to navigate the road, I'm in the moment, driving and pushing on the gas and the pedal.
Absolutely.
And the brake, right? So my playbook for 2025. So when I go back at the end of 2025 to this playbook going to tell it, because we big on stories. This going to tell a story on how effective was my attention, intention, and execution for what it is that I'm trying to achieve short term and long term. And that's accountability for you.
Self accountability,
Self
which is the
accountability.
way it starts. Because if you don't have self accountability, how can you really be accountable to somebody else?
And and if I'm being transparent, it's a way for me to not be lazy. It's a
Mm-hmm.
way for me not to procrastinate. It's a way for me to not let my mind take over. Because how many of us go, you know what, I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get around to it. I'm in a bad mood. Oh, I got
yeah.
a stomach ache today. I got a headache. I ain't doing it. I'm not even gonna do this. You know what? I had enough of this. Let me go do something else. And one of the benefits, it's a huge benefit, but it can be a poison
Mm-hmm.
of being your own boss, is you in charge of your own schedule.
Yeah.
And it can be poisonous if you don't manage it well and utilize, because things happen more so in stillness, right? I have a saying. I always got some sayings, right? In the time of peace, we must sharpen our swords, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait for the war to come and you in the war with a dull sword. So you gotta take time to sharpen it. And if you sharpen it, you're sharpening yourself. And if you're sharpening yourself, you being sharpened and you sharpening others as
Mm-hmm.
well. Because you know what I mean? Um so that's how I'm dealing with, you know, the crossover into 2025 is I'm just trying to adjust whatever I might have been immune to previous years, previous
Mm-hmm.
activities, right? Because we become immune to it. And then we
Yeah.
think we know better, right? So I hope that answered the that was the long way. But
Oh, it was
hopefully someone
long.
took something from it.
Yeah, it's a long year, so you gotta give a long answer. I think the big part is the playbook. The playbook, the personalized playbook at that. That's kind of ill. All you need is a headset now. You are the head coach.
Now I'm gonna give a shot. I gotta give a shout out to the idealist behind that playbook
Okay,
is my man CJ Broderick.
no doubt.
Right. So you notice we got starting Bill, West Coast Bill,
Yep.
playbook. I obviously created my own feel, but the general idea of just, because I use books, I write down, I got my to-dos, I got my little calendar stuff, but nothing was really, really for me. Right. I
Yep.
just, how you just kind of just make shifted and do certain things. I still use my digital stuff, but now it's a system in place. So I didn't even break down the system. If you want to know about my playbook system, yeah, come and join Biz Therapy. I give you the playbook system.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And you might get a signed copy of your own Biz Therapy playbook.
Wow, that'd be serious.
Oh, that's already going. That's going to our merch shop. I'm putting it out there now.
Okay.
We're gonna put up an order form for Biz Therapy playbooks, and we'll help you customize it to your liking, and then you'll be able to get the playbook.
Nah, that's the same. Well, and what's important about that, and from the starting standpoint, is also, um, like we talk about business plans. We talk about. I mean, you could call it a playbook. You call it. However, these are living documents
Correct.
and not, um, so what happens so much is that documentation or writing is still looked scholastically. So it's still like when people write stuff, I think there's a little like a sheen on top that people think about any document that's more than 240 characters now. But any document, they think about it like, I'm not in school no more. Why I do all this writing for? Like it's an undertone of that. And writing is just a form of communication. Not just writing is a form of communication. Number one, good or bad writer is subjective, but if you're using this communication, so the tools you're talking about are communicating to yourself, which is pretty important because when you're in the midst of doing whatever you're doing, running a nonprofit, running a company, running a household, running yourself to death, whatever you're doing, you don't have time to think. You're moving. So the ability to go back, especially when something happens, and look, and it also allows you to document more, because people just don't appreciate that. I'm, 365 days from now, you're going to remember big items, that happened. But unless you routine, I mean, yeah, I got up on the opposite side of the bed today because the temperature was this and blah blah. You ain't gonna remember that. Like that's so let's say something happens in business, some customer you have, and you know, you get into something with them. It ain't bad, but you notice something about them, and you like this, and it could be in a positive. They mention something about, they like reading books and they've read these books or whatever. And you're like, okay. But you don't write that down nowhere. And then the book or something they wish they saw or something that pertains to them comes up. And it comes up, but you don't remember who it was about. You're like, someone was telling me about this. I don't, who was it? Well, one place where you could see it, you could have it in your playbook, you have it in your notes, you can have it in your CRM. So we get bombarded with information daily. Everybody does. So now it's creating a system. This is now a good time to start building a system to allow you to manage the data that comes at you all the time and make you more effective and make implementation easier, and hereby being able to go there. As a lot of things that happen on here, I'm speaking to myself too, but I've been doing it. I've just been talking. I've been like doing it. I've been going on a digital detox. In terms of, and I'm not going to, it's going to be most of the year, probably getting rid of old emails. Like, I've been slowly going through the Google Drive, the delete stuff, old client files, all of that. They ain't coming back. I don't need this. The statute of limitations is done on the tax return. Bye. Let's get rid of it. Let's do that. This is at the start of the year. You see what I'm saying? At the start of the year, I'm subtracting, so I have room to add. And this is how you can start the year. You look at it. Look at your pricing. Look at your product placement if that's the case. Look at your brand identity. I have to start saying it like that because people love saying brand, and I honestly do not think people consciously think about what a brand is. They just say branding. Bro, I'm a branding specialist. You might be an awareness specialist. She's not necessarily a branding specialist, because what is a brand? We'll save that for some other time. But it's a brand. What is it? What's your brand? Then people, all right, I got to talk about it because I started. See, I'm gonna finish what I started. So people talk about branding, and then they'll say, "Oh, my brand, I'm a luxury exclusive, whatever, so on, so forth." And my thing is always simple. The brand is, what do you want people to think about when they see your company's name? Expensive, high end. Your brand, your most effective brand is like one word. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one word, so you can say it. McDonald's hamburgers, KFC chicken, Apple devices, Amazon shopping. Let's say real simple. And we're working on that over here. Heyward CPA, tax man, and we trying to get away from that. That's just advisors. That's what Heyward CPA, the brand, is. We're working towards advisors. They advise us. We may not listen, but we advise. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Pet smart, dogs and cats. That's branding. Now, don't give me your brand is like 20 sentences. I ain't got time for that. If I'm riding down the street and I'm like, oh, Shell, gas. So you see what I'm saying?
You mean the highway and you need some gas, you see it. You see that Shell logo. That's the brand. Gas.
Gas. That's your brand. So and I think
We're not sponsored by them folks, by the way, just so you know.
nah, man, we just we ain't yeah, we not at all. But I'm just trying to bridge the gap between people are running around saying all this stuff, especially at the start of the year. They're this and that. People love saying they're experts. They're this, they die. On all these social media profiles, people got 15 aptitudes. They do everything. And okay, fine. But when I think of you, what do I think of? That's the question. And that's something else you can work at the start of the year. How do I want to be perceived? And you work on it. Not being fake, but you just say it goes into content, hey, I'll go first. I mean, I want to be seen as a thought leader. So what I have to do, I have to put some thoughts out. I gotta be a thought leader, and I'm the only one that knows what I think. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Even with our client stuff, I'm taking it back. I've sent Petty P on a small vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Very small, maybe short. But I'm saying that now a better job must be done to share our ideals and what we're about before if a misunderstanding happens, then and I earnestly told the person what was going down. Okay, fine. That's it. So that's why I put Petty P on. So okay, all right. Right now, I'm taking it that everything wasn't explained to you good enough. No problem. But it ain't gonna happen again because we building the brand. But anyway, it does. But it's a time to start thinking about these things. Think about it. What do you want people thinking about your business 12 months from now? What do you want them to think? I mean, and it's especially hard when you're doing well. When you're doing well, you don't sit down and say, you might be doing well, but you're not doing what you want to do back on your business plan or your playbook. Because it could go to the left. You know what I mean? It could go to the left in a good way and a bad way. You could be like, oh, I'm here to service this group of people. Then you get one or two people in a different thing and you servicing them or providing them goods. And then you realize they're not even remotely close to who you had planned to do. And now you compromise some of your business operation to fulfill to a group of people that you never really wanted as customers anyway.
Well, yeah, and your playbook and your business plan will allow you to go back and tweak that stuff. Right. Yep. So,
but you got to have the you have to have the discipline to go back.
Yeah, you got to have it.
I mean, that's the other part is discipline. How do we start habits? How do we do habits? How do we create habits and strengthen our discipline and sticking to the habits that we create for ourselves? Where you spoke earlier about being self-employed or having your own business, where the challenge is that you can override every process that you ever created. You can say, man,
scrap that.
Yeah. So you can, it's so one of the law, that's why I said self-accountability is paramount, because if you don't hold yourself accountable, you going to be accountable. You won't, if you're not accountable to yourself, who are you going to be accountable to? That's, you can't, I don't see it working. Some people maybe, but I don't know. I don't see it working. I was like, you got to be self-accountable. So the bottom line is, we starting the year off, we started off doing something, hitting the ground. And now, not only that, by going out here and talk about it, it creates accountability, because now you can't fall off at week 2. You know what I'm saying? We all talked about it. It's out here. So to our people out there, y'all are holding us accountable without even knowing it. Yeah, you can't do that. Look, we on episode 78 right now. We pretty much, that's 78 we done. We've rerun about 5 to 10 times the last 2 years. So we had 78, yo. That's pretty impressive.
Consistency, right? So
yeah, and it gets easier, and we're gonna do some enhancement. I mean, we're gonna get a little more activity on the
Mm-hmm.
show, but the tenor and the personality will remain the same. So since we have such great personalities, yeah, I couldn't resist it, man. Since our personalities are so great, outstanding, right? Great personality,
Yo, you're crazy.
but yeah, great personality, but we ain't dating.
But just it just
We just delete
removes everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean, but? So we have great personalities. People love our personalities. Yeah,
I
personality.
don't know. I mean, I guess
Yeah, I know.
it's not a negative thing. It's to each his own, right? I'm just here to share experiences of how to turn your pain into purpose. Use the energy of pain into the energy of purpose. And pain doesn't necessarily mean anything negative. Pain could just be laziness, procrastination, fear of being, our brightest light. Some people get comfortable with being okay in the dark, but not really pitch dark enough, and they get enough light so they could walk around and see some stuff and make them feel comfortable. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but you gotta know what the dark looks like to recognize the enemy. So,
That's why I paused, because I already know where I was going. I was going in
yeah,
that rabbit hole with that, right? And
yeah.
there's some good information and good gems along that rabbit hole. But yeah, this is not.
Yeah. But anyhow, so look, man. So we gonna wrap it up. I mean, see, Petty P tried to come out, man. I put him back down. Like, yo, easy. It's not that bad.
It's the beginning of the year. When's he coming back? Is he coming back? He's on a vacation.
Hopefully.
Nah, he's not going to never be there.
Less pronounced.
He's kin.
Yeah, but he's less pronounced. You got his own little situation somewhere else.
You're just gonna send him to the store at certain times. How about that?
Yeah. You go to the store.
Oh, go make these go make these copies over
there. Yeah, but like when you used to have to use pay phones and somebody give you like $5. Look, I need you to call these people.
Right.
All these coins here. You go make these calls out there. Yeah, like that. That's where Petty P is right now. Petty P is on hiatus right now. But sometimes I get some messages just sent up, and I was like, oh yeah, but Petty P doesn't have as much of an impact as Petty P once did. So, I know people like, what in the world are they talking about? Like, what are these dudes talking about? I was like, y'all need to go on about your day.
Right.
Now this ain't even got nothing to do with our topics now. It's just
because that disproves we're not scripted.
Well, if you didn't figure that out by now, like, even if it's a format, there's no script. It's just out here. But that's the whole purpose. As I said, let me reset the purpose. The purpose of this podcast, or whatever you choose to call it, this program, is accessibility.
Did you say program?
Program. Yeah, it's program. It's accessibility. And we just talking. We structure it, but the show doesn't happen without you. All right, so we want you to engage. We gotta get more engagement this year. Go to the Facebook.
Send us some questions. Hit us up.
Some questions. Yeah, go to our Facebook page. That's probably even better.
Some questions.
Yeah, put the questions on the Facebook page. We'll put a link down on the link to the page, which I believe is on the YouTube channel. But go to YouTube, go check it out, man. Because I know people have a lot of questions. They have a lot of questions. Like, they have to. I have a lot of questions, but we know where to find the answers, and we talk to a lot of different people, and that creates experience. So we know a little something about a little bit, So check us out on all the social platforms. And look forward for Biz Therapy. We have the information up here. Biz Therapy coaching, man. You know, we'll start taking sign-offs for the next cohort next month, but you can get into it now. Find out what's going on. Find out this is something you need. You know, this show has been sponsored by. Now we are sponsored by Biz Therapy. It's a sponsor. So we sponsored by that. So I'm reading the ad card. Yeah. So oh, use promo code. You know, it's sign up. But you need to go to Biz. Everybody needs it. But check it out though. You know
Hey,
what I'm
I meant to tell you I like that shirt.
Oh yeah. This is old design. I'm coming up with new designs. Everybody will get them soon. This is just a movement now. It's a podcast too, but it's turning into a movement. Told you I'm on fire right now. I was moving. I'm trying to, yeah. But we gonna update this joint and get this out to people. Just a movement. That's it.
I think they'll like that one right there.
Yeah. This is what
we get the that's scuba diving material.
Yeah. That's the dive deep, but
no snorkeling allowed.
No. Now you need a tank to get into this. but you know, but it's right now. It's been on the podcast has been on hiatus as we reshuffle the way that we're gonna generate content for the flip side. So that's what it is. We got a lot of brands. Oh, there goes that word again. A lot of brands.
We got a shout out Beyond Next podcast with our fellow members, right? Marcus.
Yeah,
and Leonard, Mr. We gotta call him Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Brooks, yeah, he's Mr. Brooks.
He's a Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, he's definitely a Mr.
He might as well erase that first name off his birth certificate. Yeah, just Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, so Beyond Next, you know, success simplified. So it's another joint. We have a joint podcast with our crew there. We're gonna be demystifying topics in finance. And basically it's about you collecting money and what you do with your money. So see, we all in this. And to prove the point, it's not just all about us. We are just like, yo, come look at us. Look at us. We working with other people. It's all good, right?
Correct.
So with that being said, it's time for us to be out. Y'all know where to find us. Episode 78 it's rap 78, son. Yo, that's kind of ill. This is kind of weird. So in 2 shows, I guess in February, we get 80 shows, bro.
80 shows.
Yeah, wow. Gotta get somebody to come on for the 80th. We gotta get a special guest, somebody or many special guests.
We'll work it out.
We'll work that out. So
yeah.
But anyway, we're out of here. Enjoy your Saturday. You're either cold or snowed in, or if you're in Los Angeles, God bless you. Hopefully that gets handled, taken care of. I mean,
if you're overseas right now, there's some islands getting hit by some major water waves and washing out cities. So
yeah, see, we
send our blessings to everybody, you know.
Yeah, it's going down out here.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's going down. There's something going down. So, but we'll talk about that off air. All right, peace out.